that's how it's going. See, yeah. Why that's all. All things considered, it's actually been going pretty okay. We've been doing a pretty decent job of milking the clock, spending longer in zones, trying to drive up the fog timer as much as possible, and finding some potential cheese. Asterisk. More sciencing needs to be done before I can declare that official and proper cheese. But yeah, it is. Yeah, and I'll say I just speaking for me, I am delighted that more people are out here and just experiencing the challenge in general. Because I know, like I was saying earlier, uh, it's easy for the challenges to get overlooked between sandbox mode and like story mode for some people. Yeah, there's not really anything drawing people's attention to challenges other than achievements, and well, not everyone cares about those poor souls. See, are we? Oh yeah, so props to you, Fiat, for trying to nudge people in a good and proper direction, and experiencing new things or experiencing something familiar in a new way. Did you answer the question like is banned or not? Oh no, I was being facetious and saying like going out of bounds. But again, there's really not much reason to do so. Like if it was like if we were speed running, it'd be one thing, but we're doing the opposite of that. So why would you? You love Darkwalker. You want to see if there's a way to make it as long as possible? Yeah, I totally agree, and that's I think it's fabulous. And hey, Zert, welcome in. Good to see you. Well, we came within 6 meters of the Darkwalker just then, but other than that, things are going swimmingly. You say out of bounds equals goading in your opinion, and that's fair. And again, if if speed was a concern, then yeah, you might. It would be more something to address, but given what the challenge or what the tournament is meant to measure and what we're meant to display, going out of bounds is just well, it's flexing. Now, if someone out there is going to be real brave and come up with a good tournament that actually expressly bans goading, and that is going to take a lot of unlearning. You didn't want to allow any teleports. Oh, sure. And that makes total sense. Right. In one sense, if the Darkwalker can teleport, why can't we? But again, if this was a single player thing, then yeah, level the playing field. But if you're having like a tournament, then probably like get a little bit more standardized if possible. That is not the kind of game knowledge the tournament is meant to reward. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. Yeah, once we get over these hills, we should be able to see pretty easily. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, fog's only like 10%. So, there is looting we could do. We got Thompson's right over there. Yeah, granted, we are not really in need of much. But, you see, there's our fire. But, say we could dash over to the big barn, so you can grab the stem there. But yeah, clothing-wise, we're probably about as good as we're going to get. We are okay on food, I would say. And we really have no need of tools or meds or burnables. Oh, Timbies. Oh, right. Well, they would be over there if they do spawn. Oh, they could be by Crystal Lake too. Ugh. Oh, and the new bear patrol route in Timberwolf. Ugh. Double ugh. Because that's right where we would go. God, it makes going down to Echo Ravine actually seem plausible. It's not, but it might seem that way. Is that? No, those are hay bales. Okay. Thought I saw Timbies out that way, but no. Okay, yeah, here's the thing. Let's check this. So, going into Big Barn, Toxic Fog says 14%. Going to drop a ward. One of your players says you died in Timberwolf Mountain going down to Echo Ravine after getting the last note. Oh, yeah. Because I think in one of my first attempts,
this'll come in handy.
I ended up getting turned around, and I had Darkwalker on my heels, and I had to goat down to Echo Ravine just to get away from, because I mean, I got away with it, but it was painful. And because it's the Darkwalker,
This anymore.
it really didn't care. Like it was still coming after me, but I was able to get enough space to heal my several sprains and stem sprint to victory. There's a hammer over there. I really don't need that. Oh, okay, we're out of the ward. That is not ideal. Stem not there.
I think I can use this.
What? Why? Oh yeah. That is the tournament there. As whoever used the command. Yeah, and it was it was Fiat here who came up with the thing. There's no stem here. Maybe it's not a thing. That is so odd.
I'll take it.
But I guess that is that's me trying to carry over, loot spawns I know from other difficulties. Yeah, onto Voyager. Ah, well. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I came for a stem. I'm leaving with 2 go drinks. Potato, patata. Okay, so we got a few couple hours here. These are all fine. We're also in the dark, so we really can't repair anyway. Okay, don't need to touch that up. We do not lack for flares, clearly. Okay, let's get a couple hours. Screw it, let's get 3. Let's be bold. How much coffee do I have? I have 1, 5, 9 coffee. But there's no point in getting that because, yeah, fog still. Interesting. Yeah, fog still says 14%. And also, the map actually has us somewhere up here in the corner, rather than down here. Let's see. Yeah, HRV got up to 84%. Ravine only 54. 83 for Mountain Town. 89 for Muskeg. 74 for Mystery Lake. 72 Crumbling. Only 61 for Winding River, but we were in a spot leaving that. Have not been to Timberwolf. 82 for Coastal. Uh, the Keeper's Pass, yeah, the maps are there, but the zones are not. 68 in Bleak. We could milk that more. Yeah, Blackrock's not a thing. Not been to Ash yet. We're not going to the far territory. That's not in the challenge. 88 DP, 90 Broken Railroad. Okay, so we've actually done an okay job milking the clock. Actually, let me drink this. There's no reason to have herbal tea. I mean, there kind of is if we need healing, but we actually have decent regen on our own. Okay, so let's say the timer stays at 14% when we leave. That's going to leave a lot of time for us to milk on our way out the zone. Well, we could hit the fire and then go to either Thompson's or Molly's, depending on which way we want to get up to the space capsule. Saj said he looked at the game files and there's no way to keep the Keeper's Pass or broke. Yeah, because I didn't check the game files. I checked the transition zones, and yeah, like so we're the bend that's supposed to take you from PV to Keeper's Pass South is just rock, and yeah, the transitions from Timberwolf to Blackrock, that's not there. And obviously the bridge to the far territory is also not there. So yeah, we are limited to base game maps minus anything that came with Blackrock. There's a concern of yours. Someone would figure out a way to get to those maps to extend their time. Yeah. So what was it? Bash found a way to wriggle up and over while he was doing episode 3 and found a way to get into Timberwolf Mountain, even though there's no climbing rope up to up from the space capsule. But he found a way, and if there's one thing our community is good at, it's finding a way. Ooh, 7 minutes. Oh wait, because we're inside. I would imagine if we leave, that's going to change. But let's find out. And it's still 14 minutes. So there is maybe good reason to think that if you're in a transition cave or just in an interior location, the fog timer does not go up. Where are the wolves? Where are the wolves? Wolves are not here. Well, that's rare. Yeah, Sai and I were talking about that earlier. It does seem like there is, yeah, there's something hinky dinky going on there.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Ooh, ooh.
Huh. What have we here?
So my thinking was, if you were an enterprising min-maxer, like you could hoard, you could hoard paint, and as long as you had the food and water to sustain you, you could go through the challenge normally and then get to like anglers, and then just drop ward after ward after ward, and just like a milk the clock there without the fog timer ever actually going up. Let's see. Yeah, you would have to go there. That means you go there, and you go away. Oh wow, the Mackinaw is actually outclassed. Can you see the crazy shot? Oh yeah, yeah. What we're doing here, just like taking our time and just like meandering or like moseying, that's far too sensible. So somebody's going to come up with something that's absolutely wacky, and it's going to make me look like the absolute piker I am. And honestly, I'm here for it because I know there's some there's some decently big names in the community who are up for this thing. So, and I know there's only one division and 3 spots. So it is gonna be real competition. It's not gonna be like Jack of no trades where the easy division where it's only interloper is just me and Tina. Okay, 21%. But still there's a lot of time to go, a lot of clock to milk. If we're going to keep up, we at the very least need to get it up to like 60 something percent so we don't leave PV lower than bleak. So how might we do that? Let me try some repairs here. It's going to take an hour. Do I have an hour? We do. Wow, instant fail. One more try. Alright, screw you. Astrid, my god. You were doing so well. You were absolutely dominating, and now you're just a failure. Right, now the wind's coming from where we want to go. Yeah, you know what? let's pay Molly a visit. I'm sure she's handling this all very well. We'll go to Molly's. We'll pop in there, drop a ward, do some very light looting, mostly looking for food. Then we'll leave a lure there, and then I think we'll go up via Skeeter's Ridge, I think. So we don't have to deal with the bear that parks itself on the road if you try to come up from Thompson's. Because I have hit that thing every time I've tried to speedrun this challenge. Yeah, I hear ya. There's one sound I don't want to hear, but curiously enough, it does not come from you. Of course, now the wind's coming right in my face from this direction, because why not? Good grief. See, yeah. So we go up, we go past Skeeter's Ridge, we go past the Hunter Blind, and depending on what the fog timer is, we might pop into the space capsule, drop a ward there, and hang out for a bit. Otherwise, we take the climb, and then we do our usual routine where we milk the clock right at the cusp of exiting the zone. We had that one shining moment where the wind was actually at our back as we were leaving Mystery Lake. And the game heard me make note of that, and it said, never again. Although, admittedly, if we were going toward the exit, the wind would be at our back, but that's not what we're doing now, is it? Alright, hey Molly, got a friend I'd like you to meet. He's super chill. You'll like him, I promise. Okay. Ward up the kitchen. And we're rewarded with coffee. You'll love to see it. Why'd you get so loud all of a sudden? I'm within a protective ward. Or didn't you notice? Yes, please, snack on the carrot, not the chair. Yeah, you're calorie dense but heavy. Also 26% condition. That's a no-go. Ooh. I don't know if the Darkwalker can smell, but we know the wolves can, so let's not. I don't need any of this. How are we for water? We could use some.
This'll come in handy.
Yeah, clothing-wise, if we're not peak, we're pretty darn close. The shoes leave something to be desired, but yeah, the mucklucks we got in coastal were like 30-something% condition. It was heartbreaking. One of you, one of you. Do not need those. Maglins, sure, that'll help. Yeah.
End up being useful.
Okay, we are. Oh, there's the ketchup chips I was looking for. Okie dokie. We're borderline heavy. That's because we're all carrying around 3 liters of water we don't necessarily need. If we were speed running, this would be, well, we'd be short on stims, but we'd have the energy drinks galore would be delightful. Mwah. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't check. I didn't check what the percentage was coming in. It says 33%. Right. Oh yeah, we got that weird pop-up in the bar, and so the fog was suddenly 7 minutes, even though it was not actually 7 minutes. Well, yeah, getting up to Skeeter's is going to take a hot minute. And especially if the wind is in our face, which seems pretty well nailed on, the timer should at least be at 50% by the time we get to the space capsule. So you probably don't need to dawdle that much. Yeah. We'll grab a quick naplet. We'll put a lure on Molly's porch. It's got a little going away prank. And then we just start making our way. And hopefully by the time the ward or the lure gets popped, we'll have already we'll have done the vertical travel we need to do. We can just focus on making a beeline for the bunker. What? Oh, almost put it on the table. We don't want that. There we go. Okay, lovely. Okay, put that away. Right. Soda. Soda desu ne. Okay, 4 kilos. Yeah, honestly, we can stop looting. Maybe we should stop looting. Like, here's a there. If things get truly, truly dire, we can stop and make water. But there's really, really no need for that.
Clearly not alone out here.
Okay, so that ward or that lure was probably not going to last that long.
Can't let it.
So much for having our verticality done by the time the lure gets popped.
What was that?
Just the wind, Astrid. Just the wind. Okay. Yeah. Dropping another. Yeah. Jeez. All right. Yeah. Dropping another lure would be pointless because it's gonna be. Oh yeah. Our direction isn't gonna change significantly. So stopping to select and paint, it would just be a net time loss because it's just going to walk right over it, going the direction it was going to go anyway. Now, what we might do instead is once we're up at Skeeter's, we might drop a lure there because we're going to be moving away from it, so we can stop it from just like walking up the zone and make it follow our path. And we don't have a lot of control over where D-Dubs goes, but we can at least vex it long enough to put us in a better position. Bring, bring. What's that, Molly? Yep, still here. Still running around with that no good delinquent D-Dubs. You're not my real mom. You can't tell me what to do. Okay, yeah, it got real quiet all of a sudden, but we know better, don't we, Chad? We know what's on the way. Although I almost wonder if we should put the lure at the Burned Ridge Cave rather than Skeeters, just to make sure it's going out of its way. Now I could very well be overthinking this, and there's really not that much difference anyway. But long as we're in the neighborhood. Because yeah, Skeeter's is just along that way regardless. So we'd be giving the Darkwalker opportunity to cut up the terrain and keep moving in our direction in at least one sense. But as long as we're moving like perpendicular to it, it's going to give us a chance to get away. Yeah, I am actually going to skip those sodas. We are not really in need of that just now. Well, okay, I'll grab that one, but only that one, and no airline food. Ooh, stim, yes. A baklava?
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Not better than what we have. Not even, especially not salted nuts. We already have enough salty snacks as it is. And as a gamer on Twitch.television, I'm already salty enough as it is. But yeah, I mean, the airline meals are, they're decent caloric value, and they actually give you hydration, probably because all the the ice crystals melting in your mouth. But I don't know. They're also heavy. Excuse me. Right. Now, is it gonna? Yeah, it's gonna get to that lure, right? It has to. It's gonna get to that lure, because if it doesn't, we jump into the bunker, drop a ward there, sleep so we can climb, normally, and then would that lure would the lure still be up when we came out? But as it turns out, doesn't matter. Also, that was a curiously protracted sound, given the lure got busted well behind us. Okay, there's the timer, so we're at 50%.
I think I can use this.
No. Eh. You hate planes of the seas were not designed. Yeah, they're not. They were designed for a quote unquote normal person of normal size, and then the airlines kept trying to wedge in more seats, and then the normal person got progressively less normal. Hello? Thank you. Oh, it was probably because of the cardboard on the ground. Yeah, okay, that explains it.
I'll take it.
Yeah, we're here. We're gonna take a nap. We might as well search it up. corporate greed will be the death of your knees. Yeah.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Curious, but no, thank you. No? No. Yeah, definitely have no need for a hammer or a hacksaw. Although, imagine forging during Darkwalker. You could probably do it. The forging doesn't
Looks like this has been here a while.
use that move in real time exploit. I'll take that. Caesar designed to make how to make as much money as possible. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shareholders first, passengers second at best. But hey, it's not the passengers who make sure that they elect the CEOs and hand them massive bonuses every year for their brave leadership. No, it's the boards and then the shareholders. So money talks. Excuse me. Can we take one more crack at this, please? Hey, there we go. Nice job, Astrid. You know, you did so well. Let's try again with the other one. With the other one. There we go. Burned through most of our cloth. Honestly, it's fine. Okay. This will be a little bold. Okay, now we could drop another ward, sleep those other two, or we can just coffee it, and then do our regular routine at the threshold. Where are we? We're at 50% according to the map. That is almost certainly, well, it once again it has us in the top left corner for reasons. Let's see. Any more inventory management? Do we really need 2.5 kilograms of go drinks? No. Am I going to keep them? Yes. Call it a lingering affinity from my speedrunning days. There are emotional support go drinks. How about that? Okay, yeah, we'll pop out. We'll coffee up, and then we'll ward up at the cusp. Lovely. Now, if we do meet the bear in the Echo on the way to Echo Ravine, as long as we get to the timber, to get to the timber, we'll fire. We'll get a flare gun, so we can at least protect ourselves that way, and have a use for the 10 flare shells we've swirled away. Okay, watch for the transition. Yeah, much like leaving transfer pass or sunder pass, I keep forgetting how long this takes. Okay, there we go. Now, come down here to a flat surface. Where are we? We are at 54%. Yeah, those are rookie numbers. We got to get those up, man. Okay. Put that away. Warded up. More repairs? I only have 2 pieces of cloth. Do we need to? No. But you get 1 chance. Alright, you failed. You tried and you failed. The lesson here is never try. I know we're sleeping off a coffee buff. It's fine. We got plenty. Okay, 57%. Well, how many bandages do we have? 4 bandages. Can we envision ourselves needing more than 4 bandages? Yes. Specifically, if we're forced to going down Echo Ravine. I can see that going exceptionally poorly. So we'll save that one just in case. If we get more cloth at Mountaineers, we can adapt. Here, let's touch this up some. Not that at 87% it's at risk of misfiring, but we're maximizing our time. Because in truth, we should not leave until the fog timer is at best 5 minutes. You're gonna head out, Fiat? No worries. Appreciate you dropping by. And again, thanks again for making this. It's gonna be a ton of fun. I can already tell. But yeah, have a good rest of your day. Okay, one more clean. One more clean. And apologies to those of you who are not fans of that sound. I know some people truly do not dig it. Okay, that's done. Another ward. Drop that. We have 1 can of paint on us. We're gonna get one at the fire. We might get one at Timberwolf or at Mountaineers. Oh, we can also get one at Anglers if we want to milk our time in Ash Canyon, son, and we probably should. Yeah. Well, okay. first things first, how do we milk our time in Timberwolf? Well, we're not summoning. Oh, it just occurred to me, the clock would keep ticking in Mountaineers because it's not an it's interior in for the purposes of curing stuff, but you don't zone in. So by the game's logic, you'll still be, in the zone outdoors. So the fog timer will keep ticking, which could be good actually. Yeah, maybe we do that. We go in. We head straight to Mountaineers. Drop a ward. You do our usual routine. Milk the clock there. Go to the fire. Make sure we grab the notes so we hear the scary noise. We have access to the pineapple. Then, fingers crossed, we don't cross paths with the bear. Or maybe we do, because if the bear might, if we're passing time at the transition to Ash Canyon, the bear might come find us. Although I think when it goes down that slope, I think it actually turns left into actual Echo Ravine. Yes, because I had that happen to me recently. Okay, so if we take a right and we go toward the Ash Canyon exit, maybe we'll be fine. Maybe. Although maybe we should stay crouched while we milk the clock just in case. Okay, 67%, pretty solid. Good. I should have got more cloth at Molly's, but then again, why? We're easily as warm as we need to be, and like we don't have leather for the shoes. We don't need to repair that. We don't have animal hide, so we can't repair that or that. Relax. If we were cold, that would be one thing, but we quite demonstrably are not. So shush your noise, I say to myself. Okay, let's. Now, I hate passing time and doing nothing, but that's what we have available to us. Now, is that actually moving? Okay, yeah, the toxic fog timer does still advance as we pass time. Otherwise, that would be, again, another huge, potentially large exploit. Okay, paint check, paint check, paint check. I got one can. I'm gonna run out. Well, maybe not. Because yeah, this ward is 5 hours of yeah, 5 hours of in-game time. And yeah, Yeah, so we. Hmm, I completely lost my train of thought there. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, this will probably be our last ward, and then the timer will be low enough to where we can go. Seaside. During doing actions when warded is only speeding up your time by making spray cans run out. Sleeping and repairing is passing game time relates to wards. So the more you do nothing, the better and longer they will last real time. Okay. So, well, hang on. What? Okay, I see what you're saying, Sai. The question that occurred to me now is, what are we being judged on? Is it is it no it's in game time, right? Like number like days survived or hours survived or whatnot. I'm suddenly very unsure of myself. Actually, let me refresh myself. Okay, so Dance with the Darkwalker. Uh, your score is the real time elapsed displayed on the completion screen when you banish the Darkwalker. Longest time wins. There. According to the challenge page. So it's real. It's elapsed real time. Yeah, longest real time wins. If there are two runs with the exact same real time elapsed at the ends, the earlier submission wins. No mods, no saves coming, no teleports like map or rope slash bridge glitches. Okay. No passing time in wards except sleep. Yeah, but again, we're not getting that tired. So unless unless I'm gonna have Astrodex sprinting around to burn energy that way. Something I'm fixing on is making the work. Yeah, true. That is true. So in my defense, I'm trying to think of ways to things to do to again get more fatigue, burn more energy, so we can sleep. And if I'm honest, I'm also because I don't want y'all to just watch me stand in place for hours on end, especially for a run that's not going to count. I need as many wards as possible to make the fog go 99%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is the ideal strat. Problem is, I don't, I don't have any more. I'm down to my last can, and I would like, yeah, I want at least one charge available to use at Mountaineers, so we can sleep there. Just trying to learn and add. Oh yeah, yeah, and I appreciate that side, and I appreciate you. It's just yeah, and yeah, and there are things I am not 100% clear on either. Either like for the as far as like the mechanics within the challenge. But no, I do I'm following your line of thinking, and it all makes total sense. So we are still very much in the period of feeling things out. Okay, so where are we up to 81%? Okay. So oh wow, it's also 2 a.m. I just noticed that. So yeah, no, we're definitely finishing tonight. I'm not gonna roll this over. All right, so we got I have three I have three charges to go on this can. We enter Timberwolf. I think we'll drop a safety lure. We book it to Mountaineers. Put a ward there. We'll be able to sleep a bit and keep the fog timer moving because we won't be zoning in. I assume. I'm pretty sure. And then we'll keep one as an emergency just in case. And we'll get a can at the fire. We'll get a can at anglers. Waiting it out seems rough. That's what you struggle with. Yeah, yeah. And also a part of it is like, it's one thing if you're doing it on your own, but also if we're, streaming live and then having people watch me just have Astrid stare off into the distance. It is not the most scintillating of gameplay, admittedly. Hey, Knifo, welcome in. Well, welcome to the slow walking. But good to see you, Knifo. Welcome in CD, little country girl. Good to see you all. Welcome in Knifo and welcome in Raiders. Let me give you a proper welcome here. How'd your stream go? What all did you get up to?
I'm anxious. Game on. Look at you. Down in one.
Oh wow, one shot it. Nice. Impressive. Yeah, but welcome in Knifo. Yeah, let us know what you're up to. Were you doing Gunloper or would you checking out some other options? At ACD, yeah, we're doing all right. Yeah, folks, if you're not already, please do go drop Knifo a follow. Another super cool, very chill person, part of our community here. The TLD corners of Twitch. And if you came in with Knifo and you don't know me, hi, I'm Trooper Barry. I call myself a variety streamer who plays a lot of the Long Dark, as we are doing right now. We are currently doing some prep for the Dancing with the Darkwalker tournament, which will start August 1st. The idea is to basically take the Escape the Darkwalker challenge and do it as slowly as possible, which is why we're just standing here doing Sweet Fanny Adams. Streaming mode just got to the summit. Nice. Playing Gunloper. Good, good, good. You got to run, little country girl? No worries. Appreciate you coming by. And yeah, Nifo, if you do need to do any post-stream streamer care, hydrate, medicate, snackinate, please feel free to do so. Yeah, so we're doing the Darkwalker. Okay, the timer just went red. That's our cue. Yeah, we've got 9 out of 10 pages. We're on our way to Timberwolf Mountain. Yeah, it's at 90%. Okay, let me grab our bedroll, because we don't want to forget that. Yeah, if we're in the red, I think we just go. Yeah, let's just go. Whee! So what we've been doing is to milk the clock in every zone. And try to get the maximize, because like the way the tournament is going to be scored, it's on the amount of real time survived that it shows you in the end screen. And you got to survive long enough to complete it. Like no partial credit. But in addition, like the longer you take, the higher your score. So that is why we started this run on the bridge in Bleak Inlet, and we're still going 5 hours later. Normally this is something we speed run, but obviously we're doing the opposite today. You do have to get going? Oh, no worries, Knifo. Thank you so much for coming by and bringing your folks here. It'll help you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, we will be... Yeah, we're going to see this through. We're going to hit this fire, we're going to go to Ash Canyon, and do our best to take our time. Poking D-dubs and sticking around to see... Oh, yeah, I mean, D-dubs is perma mad. I don't think it has a setting other than that. But we're trying to spend more time together. Get to know each other. Maybe there's just some miscommunication going on, some mismatched expectations, and mayhaps we can come to a détente, an understanding, if you will. Or, that failing, we can just hang around long enough to frustrate it and put up a decent score. Because I know there are some very high-level people, high-level TLD players who are interested in taking part in the tournament. So I have no illusions I'm going to win, but I think if I can put in a time I'm proud of, I'll call that good. Maybe we have more in common than we think. We both love stomping around the wilderness and making a ton of noise as we do. Alliances have been built on less. Both of them are stalkers. Well, it's weird because Darkwalker only shows up on Voyager settings, but hey, we can make some allowances. Oh, Timbies? Nope, those look like regular jerks. Okay. I am fine with that. Okay, any paint? Any paint? Oh, we got coffee. Love that. Any paint? I do not see paint. Okay, that is awkward, but we'll make do. There we go. We got that up, and then we'll keep one charge in reserve just in case. And yeah, we both like a good hunt.
Probably useful.
Oh, cloth, okay. Ooh, another stim. Yeah, it figures on a run where we're not stimming and sprinting, we're going to be absolutely lousy with them. Okay. Do we take another crack? We'll try. There. Well done, Astrid. Okay, now let's sleep. Sleep. We'll get fully rested. Okay. Oh yeah, let's check our fog. Okay, it's 11%. Not nearly high enough. So what do we? Yeah, the complicating factor is I'm down to my last charge of paint. Now there is another can of paint waiting at the fire. Wait, are those? Okay. No, okay, those might well be Timberwolves. There's 4 of them. And yeah, the way they're roaming about suggests they might not be your normal jerks. Hmm. I mean, again, we got to remember, tournament doesn't start for another week, so even if we find a way to milk this run for more, we're not going to be able to submit it. We've done some good sciencing. We found a potential exploit question mark, or at the very least a potential source of cheese, but one that will chew you through your resources if you're not careful. Also, it is 2:15 in the morning, and I only have so much energy in me. So maybe we wave the flag and we just see this one home. How would we do that? Well, we go to the fire, make sure we grab the note and the flare gun. We go down Echo Ravine, we watch for the bear, and we could go to the Ash Canyon exit, put some wards down there, milk the clock a bit like that, and then make sure we have at least 1 or 2 charges when we go into Ash Canyon. I'm like 90% sure there is more paint at Anglers, just because the game wants to make absolutely sure you have paint left over when you get to the management spot. Yeah, yeah. Also, why does the text saying use the time before the Darkwalker arrives to prepare? It's very demonstrably here. I mean, we came within 6 meters of the thing. One on the doorstep. Okay, that's what I thought. So technically we don't even need to go into Anglers, but if we need to have a little sleep while we're there, we can do that. Because that would be a way to milk a little more time. Okay. I I can work with that. See, any more inventory management? Fine. No, no, no. I'm keeping the go drinks. You can't stop me. That's fine. That's enough hydration. We have calories. Ditch that. Ditch that. Well, okay. Pry bar for wolf defense. But yeah, it has essentially outlived its usefulness. Okay. Let's boogie before we're noticed. My speed running habits die hard. I don't know what to tell you. I need each and every one of them. They're my emotional support go drinks. Nursing all that weight, but again, we don't have to go fast. All we have to do is go steady, and not in the romantic sense. Okay, so watch for bear. Watch for moose too. I forget that can be around here. Okay. No sign of bear yet. Yeah, exactly. Old habits die hard, and yeah, people who are used to speedrunning this would again. It's certainly doable. Like knowing the challenge would help a lot. I would say it does help a lot. Okay, we have eyes on bear, but that said, there are certain parts of knowing it from speedrunning that must be unlearned. Okay. Oh, right. No cougar. Yay. No cougar. I don't. I neither hear nor see moose. Just jerks. Okay, I can live with that. Hey, Mojo, welcome in. Yep. We picked this bad boy up in Bleak Inlet, and we have been rocking it ever since. Although, now that we're here, it's time to level up. Yeah, that sound will never not be jarring. Yes, no, no, maybe, no. Yes. You see that, Loper players? Flare gun and shells in the same place. Miracles do happen. 30%. Okay, yeah, we got time to milk. I say map knowledge and mechanics will aid profoundly, but yeah, it is definitely adaptation needs to happen. You've been gone a long time. Why is it fire? Okay, no, fair question. Uh, this is one of the in-game challenges called Escape the Darkwalker. It it was the Halloween event that took the place of 4 Days of Night. I think back in 2019, something like that, 2020. So the idea is there is an invisible, malevolent force of nature stalking you throughout Great Bear. If it so much as lays a finger on you, you are insta-dead. So what you got to do is go from mysterious campfire to campfire, finding notes that give you lore and background on the Darkwalker. And then you go to a particular spot in Ash Canyon where you banish the evil forever. Now, normally, the idea is you finish the challenge as quickly as possible, but what our Fiat Spider has done with this latest tournament is basically turn it from a speed run to a slow walk. And you're scored by how much real time you spend finishing the challenge. You got to finish it, but do it as slowly as possible. Now, the tournament starts August 1st, so this is kind of just a practice run. If you want to hit exclamation point tourney, Tourney, there's a link with full details. And anyone can enter. You don't necessarily have to be a streamer, but you have to have recordings of your run for verification purposes. Yep. Chew our way through that. Okay, I hear bear crows out of my right ear. We get emergency fire materials. We have, honestly, way too many flares. Oh, right. Most important thing. Make sure it's loaded. Thomasina was at this very point. She was doing a Darkwalker speed run to refamiliarize herself with the challenge, and from this point on, she started She was sprinting from here to Ash Canyon, got to Echo Ravine, met the bear, and then noticed her flare gun wasn't loaded. As something that has happened to so many of us over the years. So even like top tier players forget shit every so often. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Let's start going through our coffee. We got about a liter of water, honestly, plenty. Okay, the fog is ticking up 40%. Let's do our usual routine. Let's head to wait. Oh, that's right. There is the other way into Ash Canyon. Yeah, you go up to the Deer Clearing cave. You leave and then you go. It takes you into Pillar's Footrest. Is there any advantage to that though? I don't think there is. Because other than spending more time in Ash Canyon, yeah, like, oh yeah, that is a click. So many of us know so well, so painfully. Okay, flare gun loaded. Let's go. We're not gonna drop a lure because I'm gonna save that for an emergency. Mostly, we're gonna listen for the bear, and it's gonna mash R to make absolutely sure it is constantly loaded. So yeah, we could go down from the log bridge into Echo Ravine, and save ourselves time and trouble that way, but that is riskier than I would be open to, given how deep we are into this run. Trying desperately to peer over this ridge without putting ourselves in danger. Okay. Bear friend? Bear friend? Wherefore art thou, bear friend? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it takes a left at the bottom of that hill. So theoretically, we should be clear here to hang out and milk the clock just that little bit more. Okay, there's the exit. We are at, okay, 49%, so the timer, yeah, there we go. There's the timer. Yeah, 22 minutes is a pretty decent time. Can we put that down somewhere? Somewhere, game? Thank you. All right. Got 10 kilos of capacity. Clothing's in decent shape. We got hydration for days and calories for, well, a day or two. And we have one full can of paint. So if I'm interpreting size breakdown correctly, the optimal way to milk clock and get the most out of our wards is paradoxically do nothing, just stand here. Because like sharpening tools or cleaning our revolver. It elapses in-game time and time on the ward, but it does nothing for our real-time progress. That just comes, but we can sleep, or we can chill, we can vibe. It's got every other time I've done this challenge, past like the first one or two, at this point we've been stim sprinting to the finish, like it just chugging every ounce of caffeine, every stim, just going as fast as possible. Yeah, since wards behave in game time, sleep 5 hours, the ward is gone in 30 seconds, but standstill probably lasts for 15 to 20 minutes real time. Yeah. Now, are y'all willing to watch me watch Astrid watch nothing for 15 to 20 minutes of real time? That's a whole separate issue. Yeah, we're stall maxing. We're clock mogging the Darkwalker. God, I hate that I understand where that comes from. I am too online. Strategists will embrace it. Oh yeah. I don't know how many of those folks are out there watching this stream, but hey, I love you and I welcome you. Oh, just had a thought. Is the rope up to homesteaders is it now installed? Or is that not a thing in the challenge? I don't actually know. Well, okay, let's have a look as we go. We should be able to see it from the fishing hut or close to. If it is, then we should be able to go. You have the option to go up the rope, drop some wards in, drop wards in homesteaders, and kind of milk the clock that way. Hey, SD Nyland, good to see you. Welcome in. And Scorbora, good to see you as well. Because I can't remember which update was it that put that rope in there. Because obviously we can see the wildlife refreshes in effect. I'm less certain about the loot refresh, but again, the challenge being based off of Voyager loot settings probably has something to do with that. But yeah, that is the tourney details at that link. Basically, we take the Darkwalker challenge, which you normally speed run, do it as slow as possible. And what we've been doing is trying to grind the fog timer as much as possible in each zone. Some we've had more success than others. Yeah, the ravine we definitely undersold. Being seen for most of them, we're actually doing okay. And yeah, the far territory is not in the challenge, and Blackrock and Keeper's Pass are not in the challenge. Won't extend the fog timer, but it will maximize wards usage. I guess it will be done in transitions or interiors as learned. Yeah. But yeah, there's definitely further sciencing that needs to be done, and I'm sure someone's going to do it. Not even because cash money is on the line in the tournament, just because it's science that is there to be done. And some people are just up for that. I mean, Bashrobe has gained a quite a large YouTube following just because his Great Bear University videos. And just the absolute shenanigans he comes up with certainly help too. Absolutely, yeah, yeah. Maybe like Bash is still out and about. Um, yeah, Nagatron isn't. Yeah, I haven't seen Nog in probably years. Nog was one of our chief sciencers for a good long while as well. I think he stepped away to spend more time with his family, and honestly, totally understandable. As much as we as much fun as we have here, and as important as video games are, yeah, wife and kids probably more important. You never done Darkwalker. How does it work normally? Okay, so normally you can go random or you can pick a zone to spawn. In every major zone in Lower Great Bear, except Blackrock, which was not in the game when the challenge was made, there are these fires, and at each one of them there is a note as well as a good collection of loot. What you have to do is go to each of these fires, collect the note, and then, yeah, so it says search for the green fires, learn all you can about the Darkwalker with the notes, and then go to Ash Canyon and then banish the Darkwalker. Normally, so the Darkwalker is an invisible and very mean, very angry force of nature. If it touches you, you die instantly. And the way we counter that is we have these cans of what they call it, glyph spray paint, where you can paint here, folks. Yeah, you can paint a ward which keeps the Darkwalker at a distance for a time. You can place a lure which draws the Darkwalker to that spot. You have one use of dispel fog. So the longer you're in a zone, the higher the toxic fog counter builds up. And if it's 100, obviously toxic fog hits, and then not only does it do damage over time to you, all your food spoils instantly. So it's very bad. But now because we have the 10 pages, we have access to the pineapple or the banish glyph. But you can only use that at one particular spot in Ash Canyon, where we're about to go. Now, normally you would be, running through this, trying to do it as fast as possible, because like the less time you're exposed to the Darkwalker, the less danger you're in. So Fiat has kind of turned the challenge on its head and is making us spend as much time as possible with old D-dubs. Oh, and then with every note you pick up, the Darkwalker gets faster, but not so much that it can actually just catch you normally, as long as you don't have a sprain, you're not over encumbered, and you're not exhausted. So that's the basic setup. It's the closest TLD comes to survival horror. So naturally, I like it a lot. Let's see, science say it wouldn't take long. Speed on the first half. Stop in Milton. Use all the wards to see what happens with the fog. Yeah. The science thing would absolutely. It wouldn't take very long. I would probably want to replicate it just to make absolutely sure, because the the potential downsides if you assume incorrectly. Yeah, absolutely, Nyland. My pleasure. No, my pleasure. Yeah, there's a. I say this is by far my favorite challenge. Okay, I think we can squeeze in a little bit of a nap here. There we go. How are we for? I was gonna say for hydration, but come on. Okay, 9 minutes. We're up to 77% fog. Oh, and how are we for paint? We got one full can. How much painting are we gonna do in Ash Canyon? I I think we drop a safety lure the moment we get in. So that's one. We keep one in reserve. Keep one charge in reserve if by some fluke there's no paint at anglers. We're almost certain there is, but just in case. So we could, if we wanted to, if we wanted to maximize our time here, we just drop one more ward once this wears off. And then once the timer goes red, we head to Ash Canyon. Y'all can't see it because I'm not on camera, but I'm gesturing with my hands. Why? I don't know. Just for it makes me feel more convincing. What sense does that make? None. Because yeah, honestly, we don't have to wait out through the entire second ward. We just want to make sure we crank up that fog timer because yeah, we're right there, and there's no cave attached. We're gonna go boop right into Ash Canyon. So no transition cave shenanigans or timer concerns. So what could get in our path? There could be the moose that spawns right there by the Ash Canyon entrance. We wouldn't have to encounter it, but we have the flare gun if needed. There could be the timber wolves by the fishing hut. It'd be rude to have them and the Crystal Lake Timmies up at the same time, but again, it's a percentage chance, so it could happen. We have the revolver. Oh, and yeah, we want to check for the rope up to Homesteaders. Otherwise, I think we take our usual path up to, yeah, up the side. We go to Anglers. Get the paint. Maybe we go in and rest. We'll probably need to have a quick little naplet. And then we go to Pineapple Town. Let's see. Actually, the timer might turn red at 5 minutes. Yeah, because in PV, I think it was red at 4. So it might depend on the size of the zone. And we'll find out here in a minute. Yeah, let me go make sure we pick up our bedroll. We don't want to forget that. Normally, when you're speedrunning this, I would leave the bedroll back at the fire and then we just be stim sprinting, trying to be as light as possible and as caffeinated as possible. Okay, nope, I tell a lie. 5 minutes, and it has not popped. 87%. Okay, so maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, just about done. Done. Good. Okay. We will throw down one more coffee for the road. Vamos! Okay. And we're gonna stick this in the most inconvenient spot possible. So even though the Darkwalker ignores verticality, and it walks vertically as fast as it walks horizontally, which makes climbing a real danger. If we stick it in the corner of the map, it still has to go to the corner of the map. So we're just gonna do that. Okay. Nope, can't see homesteaders. Right, no sign of Lucifer. We love that. Okay. I see the fishing hut. Let's look for the climbing rope. Because if it's there, that is another place where you could theoretically stall. Ooh. Well, okay, maybe not there. Uh, yes, it is there. Okay. See anything in here? Nope, nope, nope. Not even any notes. Ooh, okay. I know it's not really started, but if you have any time you'd be had. Honestly, Sai, I have no idea. Because my, my, uh, my radar is so, calculated and uh, yeah, my notions around, Darkwalker are how quickly can you do it. So, how much time can you take? Honestly, I don't even know how long it has taken me in the past because I don't look at the total time, like the best time survived, because that's not generally what you want to do in the challenge. So I'll say this. Um, I will. I'm going to use this run as kind of a baseline, a like a range finder. If I can manage, X time with, you know, not much in the way of strategy and, coming back to the challenge cold after, however many months or years away. I think this is something I can do because there hasn't been a lot of RNG. Like, maybe some nice loot drops here or there, but most everything has been, controllable or consistent, or should be something that should be consistent from run to run. Like, say, like loot placement or finding paint. I think the differences is going to come in one being a little braver with like sticking around in certain zones longer, and maybe honestly, sciencing out how much can we stall in interior locations. And let's see how much extra time can you milk in, say, the ravine, crumbling highway, winding river. And can you, do you know like what? And let's see, paint might be a thing. Yeah, braver, sure. And that'll also partly come with just more exposure to playing this challenge in that particular way. And then its mechanics and exploits, which yeah, and because every tournament, it seems always some bug, some exploit, something that you know had always existed in the game, but we just never actually made note of it until it was thrust in our face. Ah, here we go. Here's the extra
Nobody needs this anymore.
spray paint. But let's pop in. Okay, yeah, we do not need more flares.
I think I can use this.
Okay, not the kind of diary page we're looking for. Ooh, not that. Okay, there's the guaranteed matches. Do we need those? Nope. But I grabbed them anyway.
Okay.
No. I was kind of hoping for that soda, but soda has not made itself known. Oh, I see. Where are we? We are at 15%. And we have 1.5 cans left. You know what? Now I'm going to hold on to them out of spite, and my stims too. Uh, Actually, can we? Oh, apparently you can repair in the dark. If it even counts as dark. Maybe it doesn't. Huh? How about that? Okay. Now let me remind myself. Right. So we leave. We're gonna go up the river, and then there's a pathway that goes, yeah, around behind the waterfall, and then yeah, this is where we do the banishing ritual. It's been a long time since I've taken that particular route. I remember there's like a rogue fire barrel just sitting out there in the open. And I think there's always a can of tomato soup by it as well, even in Misery. Yeah, still 15%. Okay, is there anything else we feel compelled to do? No, not really. No, there's still wolves about. Yes, there is banishing on the horizon for sure. Okay, I tried. Is there anything else interesting that we might do to keep things going? It's got. Oh, gee, me Christmas! It's 3 a.m. I guess I'm honestly, I'm. You know what it is? I've been so locked in, I don't actually feel that tired. Well, good thing I don't have to work tomorrow. No, that's next Sunday. Shh. Yeah, I mean it's fine. The heat has absolutely obliterated my sleep schedule anyway. I might as well, get some use out of it as opposed to half watching World Cup games via an Australian VPN. But yeah, it is. Yeah, we've been going for almost 6 hours. All right, with the admission and the caveat that there is more we could do in Nash Canyon, I might just head over to the banishment spot. Okay, there's the fire barrel. And there's the can of tomato soup. Classic. Is it? Okay, I am not in the right spot. That is a waterfall, but that is not the waterfall we want. What is it ever to do? That it is answering for the sins of all tomato soup cans past. Especially all the ones that, you know, gave food poisoning at ridiculously high percentages. Oh, oh shit. It's right over there. I was about like I was going to go up to the gold mine or something. Place a banished glyph inside the circle. What? Place a glyph inside the circle? Okay. Whoops. Wrong one. Okay, now. Oh, I just had the most horrifying thought. What if the what if that bug where you get caught in that final animation just eternally hasn't been fixed? Because I actually lost a very good speedrun time to getting caught in that animation, and then you don't get the end screen, you don't get the time, and you can't even restart the run. I honestly I am slightly afeared. Even for a run that is not eligible. That bug's still a thing? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I haven't been seeing people like play the challenge normally or speedrun it for a while, so it might be. Okay, I guess if it is, better to know now than have a good run we become emotionally attached to and lose that one. So what I think we're gonna do, yeah, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Right, okay, so as a precaution, once we paint the pineapple, we do nothing, we touch nothing. It's like in the past when I was feeling my oats, I'd start popping stims, I'd start shooting off flare rounds, and then just like making as much noise and light as possible to pass the time until the Darkwalker got here. Now I don't know if that was part of it. This could be a whole cargo cult thing, but out of an abundance of caution, we're just we're gonna chill, we're gonna vibe, and we're gonna let D-dubs come to us whenever it feels like it. What if it's tomato soup's fault? Well, then the next can of tomato soup I see is gonna get shot right in the face, and it's gonna deserve it. But yeah, my hope is that we can at the very least get a time that I can have as a benchmark going forward. I think he's about the tomato soup fixation. Well, okay, I'm not the one who had a whole emote made about tomato soup. All right, I'm not the only one out here who's been burned by tomato soup and food poisoning one too many times. That was that was a Hadrian, full handle Hadrian LP. He's got tomato soup emotes and big barn emotes. He's but he's been playing this game for a good long while, so he has lots of stories and traumatic encounters to reflect back on. You think most longtime TLD players have tomato soup trauma? Entirely possible, yes. Because, yeah, I think there's still food poisoning on Voyager. Is there food poisoning on Pilgrim? Maybe? I would think so. Like, they don't even turn off cabin fever for Pilgrim. I don't think they turn off food poisoning. Now, they do turn off the butt worms. So you can eat any old kind of meat you want as long as it's cooked. Okay, guys. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. At the very least, yeah, we'll get the fog timer up to 50%, and then we'll call this because it's almost a quarter after 3. Yeah, I'm never streaming this late. Although maybe the typhoon is helping keep me up as well. Because yeah, last I checked, it was intensifying but also moving real slow, like 20 kilometers an hour, which I don't know, it seems slow for typhoons. But then again, I left my meteorology degree in my other pants, so who knows? 6 hours. Yeah. It's this is not the normal stream length. Trust me. It's like I do this to relax at the end of the day. So we usually go 3-4 hours tops. I think like one time we did a 12-hour stream. Actually, maybe I should do that again at some point. You know, I'll throw in like a channel point challenge where if we raise X number of channel points in a month, I will do another 12-hour stream. What would I do then? Well, that would take some thinking. Because what did we do last time? We did Minecraft, which was just kind of eh. We did Crypt Master, which was really good. I think we did Signalis, which I didn't quite click with, and then Sorry We're Closed, which was good, and then and I think we closed with some Darkwalker Speedies. Good excuse to go there. Honestly, Pancake, you're not wrong. If we put like a strict 1 hour limit, like we're doing with the normal Variety Friday streams, we might even be able to get through like a third to a half of the demos that are still outstanding. I would just need to find a convenient time and then give myself room on the back end to recover, because I know I got I'm in my mid 40s. I do not bounce back the way I did 10 or 20 years ago. Okay, 47%. We're almost there. Although, okay, I will also wait until we're out of ads. Actually, well, okay. If I'm not actually, no, no, no. Now we're. I was gonna say maybe we fire off some rounds preemptively, but no, that would be. I feel like that would be tempting fate. We're all, well, yeah, especially in the Twitch context when you all these Zoomers and Gen Alpha running around with their memes and their Riz and the whatnot. Okay, there's a timer. Okay, here we go. Before we punch out, let's take a quick stock of each zone and how long we spent in it. Kind of a report card of sorts. So, Blackrock, Keeper's Pass, no. Bleak Inlet, 68%. We could have stayed there a bit longer. Not too terribly much, but we could have stayed. We could have stayed, there, by the exit or in the transition cave? Question mark? I don't know. Keeper's Pass is not a thing. Coastal, 82%. We did a pretty good job with that one. Now, part of that was me initially going toward the wrong exit. Before I remember, oh no, I want to leave by the ravine. Timberwolf, 88. Pretty solid. Winding River, 61. Yeah, but we had Darkwalker on our heels. That was going to be complicated. Crumbling, 72. We could milk more out of that, but not much more because it is small. Mystery Lake, 74. Yeah, could do better. Muskeg, 89. Not bad. Mount Milton, 83. Ravine, 54. Yeah, that was not great. HRV, 84. PV, 91. Broken Railroad, 90. 88 DP. And yeah, the far territory is not a thing. So yeah, I think we have the bones of a strategy. Yeah, we can loot a little more, but like we still have to stay well rested. We still don't want to be cucumbered. And we know, like, so we found, yeah, because we don't have to go out of our way to maximize our time in certain zones. It's just getting a little bit more out of the transition zones, and then places like HRV, Bleak, and Ash, where maybe they're less familiar. Now, that's just playing it straight. If there are, as Saya was saying, exploits or other sneaky strategies that I'm sure someone will find, then it'll raise the bar. But in terms of just like, meeting the game where it wants us to meet it, I think we have a pretty solid grounding. Get good clothing, get well fed and keep it. You can, hang out by the exit, drop wards, so you can mitigate any issues with fog. And if you need to leave in a hurry, you have that option available to you. Yeah, so then between now and the end of the tournament, we're going to need to figure out is being in an interior location / transition cave an exploit or just progress that is not being registered. So like Sai said, just start a run, go gather up a whole mess of paint. Note the fog timer going into the interior location or transition cave. Drop a few wards, hang out, eat, drink, be merry. Come back out, see where the fog timer is. Because if it hasn't budged, then, well, there you go. Because there are, yeah, there's the DP to crumbling tunnel. There's the coal mine between PV and coastal. There's the bleak muskeg tunnel. There's the Milton HRV cave, the Milton Mystery Lake cave, the Winding River PV cave. Hell, there's the interior the cave in Muskeg that takes you from one side of Hat Creek to the other. Yeah, there's lots of potential spots for exploits ? Hey, you're looking a little peakish there, Astrid. Have another cup of coffee. There you go. And chase it with some nice ketchup chips. Maybe a new granola bar. Oh, what's that? You thirsty? Here, have a cup of coffee, girl. You earned it. Okay, and then we'll leave that outside the circle, just in case. Because when D-dubs comes, we want to make sure our meters are as full as possible. And that's me being facetious. But you do want to make sure you're not on your last legs coming in, because you will get fear damage before the final animation kicks in. So if you're at heartbeat coming in here, you better have a stim or something to give you health real quick, because you can die during that final encounter. It has been done, and oh, does it hurt. Right, yeah, so when the ward goes away, we will drop the pineapple. Oh, right, the other thing. I never used a dispel fog. Like, you get one fog buster per run. And I guess if you put that in a particularly big zone, like coastal, like PV, and I don't think it fully restarts. I think it knocks it down by 50%. So that is potentially a lot of time you could milk out of a zone you've already potentially maxed out on. Does he have to do an all-nighter to get this done in one go? Oh, yeah. Where did we... Yeah, we picked this up tonight at the fire in Bleak Inlet. So we already did DP crumbling, coastal, ravine, and then I guess half of bleak. So you're probably looking at 9-10 hours minimum. Okay, Ward's gone. It's time for pineapple.
Nothing good about that sound.
See the circle? Yeah, and you really do need to stay in the circle, because if you're not, bad things happen. It's gonna be a much longer challenge. Yeah, well, thankfully that's why we have a whole month to do it. Hey, not my Sunday best. Good to see you. Astrid, language. We have guests. Okay, 7 hours 55 minutes. Not too bad. And so we know there's a couple transition zones we could get more time out of. We never use the fog buster. That's 50% more time in a zone. But yeah, 8-ish hours? That's not a bad baseline. Okay, now make sure we don't do the rookie mistake. Make sure we have quit to menu selected before we confirm. Whew. We are going to leave it there because it is 3:30 in the morning. My neighbors are probably very upset with me just still being up at this hour going on. Unfortunately, the walls in my apartment are not as thick as they should be. But hey, that's Hong Kong construction for you. Anyway, we're gonna leave it there. Thank you everyone so much for hanging out. Thank you to Northern Lights for the refollow. No thanks to Twitch for unfollowing me. And thank you to Knifo for the raid. Yeah, thank you chatties, thank you lurkers. Nyland, Psy, Pancake, Sunday Best. Appreciate y'all. Mojo, CD, Country Girl, you all as well. Yeah, and Stewie, and Fiat, our tournament organizer, Zert, and everyone who came by and hung out, as well as Martian, Bumblebee, and yeah, thankfully no bug at the very end. Right, so given that we just did a double stuffed stream, I think I'm gonna skip Sunday and try to get my sleep schedule realigned before I gotta go back to work Monday. So apologies for that, but and yeah, we'll be next week. It'll be August. God, imagine. And that means the tournament's going to be going. So we will start doing this for realsies. Probably next Saturday. So again, thanks everyone. Thank you to YouTube friends for being here. We'll see you all next time, and bye for now.